My viewpoint is not a blue viewpoint. I'll support the officer when he follows training, but I will condemn you if you didn't follow training. I will call you out on it and say, that's not how we do business in policing. Someone called and said there was a guy underneath a bridge and he had a gun in his hand. He was walking around talking to himself. So I parked my vehicle distance away, as you train to do, and then I start walking towards the location where the armed subject's supposed to have been. Now, we're underneath a bridge, so you got them steel reinforced beams, perfect cover, ain't no round gonna go through there. So behind the beam, I drew down on him. So I was like, police, police, drop the gun, drop the gun. So he turns around and he starts yelling at me, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. So I'm like, okay, this is not gonna work. I see there's a problem here. I quickly started thinking, okay, suicide by cop, he wants me to kill him. So I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you because you want me to shoot you. What's your name? And he told me his name. I said, do you have any kids? And he says, yeah. I said, how old? He said, 14. At this time now, you had about maybe 10 officers and everybody got him at gunpoint. I said, okay, so now that I'm gonna shoot you, I said, I need to know, because I'm gonna have to talk to your kid about why I killed his father. He said, because he just got tested and positive for AIDS. I said, with medicine, you can watch this kid grow until his adulthood, and it'd be a lot easier for him to deal with your death as a grown man than a 14-year-old kid still trying to make his way in the world. So he drops the gun, had an officer recover the gun, had another officer go and put cuffs on him, right? Now, sounds like a really good story, correct? Then I have two sergeants who was there on the scene that was SWAT members. They walk up to me, right? They says, what are you doing? I said, what are you talking about? He says, that's textbook style, green light. He had a gun, you told him to drop it, he wouldn't drop it. I said, man, what happened to saving life? I just saved this dude's life. He said, come on, man. When you got a green light like that, you take it. If I had to take a life, I exhaust all measures. I had no other options. I had an option there. You have the police culture that's a protect us, police them mindset. And then you got the community saying, they're not a part of us and it's us against them. So you'll see the anti-police people, even if it's a good shoot, it's police brutality, police brutality, police brutality. And then you see the police, right? Even if it's bad policing, we gotta support it. We gotta look out for each other, gotta look out for each other. You gotta change that narrative. It takes a lot for someone from the culture to come out and say, nah, we got that one wrong, that's bad policing. You haven't seen nobody from the police culture do that. Probably 80% of the time. It's a lot of paperwork, and all that depends on what the incident was. Now, if you got a pursuit and person, it crashed and hit a bunch of cars, you probably tied down for a while. Discharge a firearm, tied down for a while. What you see in the movie, you see this whole car chase, shootout, and then the officer goes back and he's back on the shoot. No, you buckle down and you're doing paperwork after paperwork after paperwork. If it's at night, put the dome light on. Roll all the windows down. Keep your hands where the officer can see him. Once he comes to the window and he asks for your driver's license registration, if you have to reach somewhere, just let the officer know, look, it's in the glove box. I'm reaching for it, okay? You cool with that? If you're the passenger and you don't want an officer to be on high alert, take away his fear, right, of being unsafe. No, I never would put on my siren just to rush through traffic. And I was with my partner, and we was trying to, we wasn't even going on a call or nothing, but it was traffic. And he was like, yo, why don't you just light through, man? I'm tired of sitting here. I said, you have to wait, man. You could see things when you're just sitting. You could see things when you're taking your time. And as soon as I said that, I was like, yo, look at the dude across the street. I said, I seen his face on a poster, wanted poster. And he was like, get out of here. I said, nah, watch this. And I rolled down and I was like, yo. And he looked at me, he just started running. I said, I told you. And I got out and I started chasing him. At the end of the pursuit, I apprehended him, caught him, and he had warrants, and he was the subject on the poster. And my partner was like, you staged this whole thing, didn't you? Because it fell perfectly about your story about taking your time. I was like, no, man, I had nothing to do with that. Stepping in front of a vehicle is a deadly force situation. You create that. You're trained not to stand in front of a vehicle. You have no other options. When you start talking about a split second, that officer who stood in front of that car, he just created that split second deadly force situation. You hear people all the time, it's the training. No, it's what you see is officers not following training. I picked up this kid for selling drugs, and you could tell The kid, he was a quiet kid, so I was asking him, like, what's wrong? He said, this was in the project. He's like, his mother's boyfriend was making him sell drugs. So I got a hold of her, started talking to her, and she was like, I have no income, I have no education, pretty much, I don't really have anything, so the support that he gives, that's how I live. So I was like, but he's using your kid to be out here selling drugs. He can get killed. I was just telling him the dangers of having this kid out here selling drugs. I spent a lot of time talking to the mother, trying to get her some help, get her on her feet, try to get her to see a different angle than the angle that she was living. And I got her to say, okay, yeah, I would come to court, I would testify against the boyfriend, the whole nine. And as soon as just a few days before the court date, right, they just skipped town. There was just nothing that we could have done any more or any different. I just wish I'd had a better outcome, because there's no telling what happened with that kid.